Marjorie Taylor Greene has thoughts on the Supreme Court delaying for a couple of months ruling on whether presidents can get away with literally anything according to this dubious idea of presidential absolute immunity. And she couldn't help but accidentally expose how nakedly partisan her position is on this, how opportunistic her position is. So she was asked by Raw Story about the SCOTUS decision. She says, "I think it's great. I think the Supreme Court is the place for this to be, given the fact that some of these lower courts are politically biased, which is a major problem. I think he had immunity. I'll tell you, I don't think President Trump did anything wrong." Well, I believe that she believes that. Again, that's why you have trials though. So it's not just our beliefs, you actually weigh the evidence and all that. She says it's the place, the Supreme Court is the place for it to be, which even if you believe that, it could have been in the Supreme Court back in December when the special counsel tried to expedite the process, and you guys didn't want that, even though you believe that's where it's supposed to be. And I love the idea that the lower courts are biased, not the Supreme Court. No, the Supreme Court, which is 1/3 composed of justices put on the court by Donald Trump. That includes one of those, Clarence Thomas, whose wife was a participant in the scheme to overthrow the election. Surely they don't have any biases here.
Before we continue with the story, we depend on members to keep on going. Don't wait, click join now on YouTube.
But even that isn't the most partisan part of her response. She said, yeah, which you would think that Democrats would support presidential immunity as well. And I think she's being honest there. She finds it weird that the Democrats wouldn't support an idea that Joe Biden could commit any crime he wants and get away with it. Now, obviously, I don't believe that. I don't want Joe Biden to commit crimes, and if he does, I want him to go to jail. But she thinks it's normal that you just expect that your side should get away with everything. Why would you question that? Well, we are very different people, Marjorie Greene, but I love you making so clear how you see power. Jason, what do you think?
I think, first of all, I think Clarence Thomas and his wife are the most unattractive couple. Two, why? Right, I'm not surprised that MTG thinks this, but why would we think that the president of the United States, who is just a regular man, who by millions of people's opinion is given this job, should have carte blanche to get away with anything because of the position that they hold that was decided on by the people? What qualifies him to do that? Especially Trump of all people. Why would and I go back to the mental acuity of people in politics, John, because if anyone's paying attention, they would realize that there has been so many bad decisions that have obviously have been made by people who've been appointed to some of the highest courts in the land and have held the highest positions in politics. And these people are smart. Why would you even think that it would be okay for these people who've made the worst decisions to be able to get away with making even worse decisions? For MTG, I would imagine that she thinks it serves her best interest by aligning herself with these people, so she'll be able to get away with murder and anything that she wants to do. Because at the end of the day, all these people are power hungry. I think this is laughable, and it's never going to happen. Or no, I shouldn't say that, because we thought COVID was going to happen and it happened. But this is where we're at in American politics. I think now, leading all the way up until Super Tuesday, it's going to get even worse. And I think this election cycle is going to be the craziest and the most otherworldly we've ever experienced.
You know what, I agree. And I think that if you want a community to help you get through this crazy election cycle, become a subscriber now at The Damage Report. But I agree. I will also remind everyone that when I say I don't think that presidents should have immunity, and I point out that most people seem to agree that they shouldn't have immunity, one person on that list who spent years and years arguing that they shouldn't have immunity is Donald Trump, because Donald Trump for years has been making claims about locking up Obama for things he did as president. He clearly did not believe, up until he started worrying about being thrown in the slammer, he didn't believe they had immunity for anything. He thought that they can and should be prosecuted for the conspiracy theories he comes up with. But at the very least, it's clear that he doesn't believe his own absolute immunity theory.